The long, slow death of American community life. Let's talk about the journey from Democracy in America, which was written in the 1830s, to Bowling Alone, which was written in the 1990s. The importance of social networks and community cannot be overstated. Strong social networks and a sense of community provide individuals with a sense of belonging and purpose, and they also play a vital role in promoting mental and physical well-being. They are also essential for the functioning of democracy, as they provide a way for citizens to come together and make decisions collectively. However, in recent years, the American community has been under attack. One major factor has been the actions of the government, which have often been detrimental to local communities. For example, government policies such as urban renewal and eminent domain have often led to the destruction of established neighborhoods, displacing residents and breaking up communities. Additionally, the government's focus on centralized control and bureaucracy has often hindered the ability of local communities to govern themselves. Another factor that has contributed to the decline of the American community is the welfare state. While intended to help those in need, the welfare state has often had negative consequences for minority families. For example, the welfare system has been criticized for providing incentives for fathers to leave their families, leading to an increase in single-parent households. This has been particularly detrimental to African American families, who have been disproportionately affected by the breakdown of the traditional family structure. Many people are unaware that single-parent households were far less common from the 1870s to 1950s, and really started to pick up in the 60s. Democracy in America. In contrast, Alexis de Tocqueville, in his book Democracy in America, noted the strong sense of community and democracy that existed in the 19th century. He wrote, "In America, the majority raises formidable barriers around the liberty of opinion. Within these barriers an author may write what he pleases, but woe to him if he goes beyond them." Tocqueville observed that Americans were deeply involved in civic life and that this was essential for a functioning democracy. In reality, we live in a constitutional republic, but we'll let it slide for now. Bowling Alone. However, as Robert Putnam noted in his book Bowling Alone, civic cohesiveness has declined significantly in the 20th century. Putnam wrote, "In the last third of the century, Americans have been withdrawing from organized life, whether it is PTA, church, or political parties." He argued that this decline in civic engagement has led to a weakening of the American community. In the 21st century, the decline of community networks has accelerated, particularly with the rise of social media. Rather than fostering connections between individuals, social media has been criticized for promoting isolation and loneliness. This has led to a rise in mental illness and crime. Despite these challenges, there are ways to improve the community and civic life in America. Here are 5 ideas. Encourage and support the formation of neighborhood associations and community groups. Promote the development of local businesses and public spaces. Increase private sector donations and funding for libraries and community centers. Encourage others to pursue meaning in life, including giving back to the community. Encourage the more localized control of political institutions and educational programs. Lessen the stranglehold of federal government over local politics. Privatize everything. In conclusion, it is clear that the American community is in need of rebuilding. This can only be achieved by taking back power from the federal level and giving it back to small communities. It is important to get rid of the Department of Education, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and Department of Health and Human Services and let the local communities govern their own affairs. Only then can we hope to see a resurgence of American community. What do you think people should be doing differently?